What's going on, guys? And we are back for another match reaction and to pre-season. Man United 2, West Ham 1. And as you can see, it's 2 o'clock in the morning, late night settings, and that was an alright game, especially the first half. I was very impressed. We looked sharp, man. The way we pressed, like the players were working hard, like running, covering ground, and we saw some good stuff. Probably should have scored more goals. Højlund had a good chance very early on, hit the post. Ahmad had a disallowed goal. Bruno had a good chance in the second half. We played some good stuff, man, and pre-season is just all about this getting fit, getting match sharpness, and today we looked very sharp. I didn't really get to watch the game last week. I was away at the beach on a trip, tried to watch it on my phone, didn't work. But from what I saw, we looked flat. It was our first game back. And if you compare that game to this one against West Ham, we looked much sharper, like was pressing all over the pitch. And yeah, it was impressive, man. Bruno scored the penalty. It was a foul on Aiden Heaven. Then Bruno got the second goal, the second half. And it was an encouraging performance. Defensively, we looked solid. In the first half, West Ham didn't really create anything. They had a lot of possession, but didn't really do much with the ball. That was probably the only negative, in the game. We let West Ham have too much of the ball. We got caught out in midfield a little bit. Mainoo and Ugarte were pressing high, and that gave West Ham space in the midfield area. That led to their second goal. Good goal by Bowen. There's still work to do, but from that game, I feel positive about the new season, man. Cunha alone, he improves us massively. The way he can receive the ball under pressure, on the half turn, his ball carrying, he improves us a lot. And Mbeumo didn't even play today. He wasn't in the squad, so he's yet to come. And yeah, I was happy with that game overall. Second half was a bit flat, especially after the changes. After the changes, we struggled to keep the ball. And West Ham, yeah, they were that last 20, 15 minutes, West Ham were the better team. They had a lot of the ball, and with us, it was more about just defending that lead and seeing the game out. But yeah, definitely after the changes, yeah, we wasn't good, but overall, we were the better team. We deserved to win. And yeah, man, it was a good game. A lot of fans were complaining after the Leeds match, overreacting. Today, I know it's pre-season, but there's something to be optimistic about, because one thing about pre-season, you get to see signs of what's to come in the season. And in this game, we saw a lot of pressing. Our team shape looked good. We looked defensively sound. So that's one thing to be optimistic about for the upcoming season. And I was very impressed, man. I think Mainoo was sensational. Mainoo had a tough season last year. I put it down to fatigue. 3 weeks after the Euros, Ten Hag played him in the Community Shield. He started him against Man City, and I just knew he was in trouble, from then. And I noticed it, in the Liverpool game last season at home, where we lost 3-0. Mainoo was knackered. I just knew, it wasn't going to be a season. And all year last season, I was just complaining about him being knackered. This summer's different. He had a break, and he looked very sharp in that game, man. He looks like the Kobbie Mainoo of 2 seasons ago, and I expect big things from him next season. I think he'll be back. I've got full faith in him. You can't write a player off after one bad season. He was good. Ugarte was solid in the midfield. He did what he needed to do. Ugarte, you know he's going to work hard, win the ball. He did that. Cunha was brilliant. Bruno was efficient, you know, took his 2 goals well. I thought Højlund was all right. To be fair, that chance that he had in the first half, he did well to find himself in that position. You know, his movement, running in behind. I thought he was decent, you know, in the first half. Did some good stuff. Who else played today? Yeah, Ahmad at wing back. He had a quiet game. If anything, he had to do more defensive work. You know, we didn't really get to see him go forward today because obviously he was playing at wing back, and Dorgu looked promising as well. You know, Dorgu and Cunha were linking up well on that left hand side, and our defense, our centre backs looked well balanced. You know, Yoro, De Ligt, Aiden Heaven, they looked solid, man, and that's probably going to be our starting centre backs for the new season. You know, it's very well balanced, and yeah, I'm happy about that game. It's only pre-season. I'm not going to get carried away, but it's something to be optimistic about. You know, the way we pressed, you know, how sharp we was, energetic. That's something hopefully we can see in the new season, man. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say. Man United 2, West Ham 1. We play Bournemouth next week. Same thing again, match reaction. Yeah, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next video.